If it is true that Manu Ginobili is going to retire, pure speculation at this point, but it sounds like he is not going to be coming back for his age 40 season, we are going to miss one of the better stories in NBA history. Global ambassador for the game, came over from Argentina, won, I believe, 4 titles. I'm not sure if he was there for the 2000, if he wasn't there for the 1999 one. So 4 titles with the San Antonio Spurs, a surefire Hall of Famer. And somebody who elevated his game in the playoffs the most, and one of the most clutch players. Francis, I got 4 videos, really quick. They're bang, bang, bang videos. How do you remember Ginobili? Well, for one, most people don't remember him having hair, which is mean, but true, and here's his first ever three-pointer made in the NBA, which came against the Los Angeles Lakers all the way back.
Todavía estamos buscando el primer triple del partido. Ginobili a distancia, levantando las manos.
God, he looks like a different person. But what do a lot of people remember him for? How about a game winner against the Suns in the NBA playoffs in 2008?
Ginobili to the basket, puts it up, banks it in.
How about a game winner against the Warriors in 2013, which is weird to see.
Here's Ginobili for 3.
Both of those in double overtime. And lastly, Francis, the best of the best, just dunking all over the Miami Heat in 2014.
The Heat have gone cold. Ginobili on the finish, flushes it with the left hand.
Doesn't make any sense to NBA players. The wrong foot, wrong hand dunk driving the lane from a guy who at that point was like 37.
Yeah.
Those are just a few of Ginobili's great moments, but he's just always been a staple to Spurs basketball, unselfish, a champion, a winner. Gonna miss Manu Ginobili.
You put him right there in the same bracket as the Dirk Nowitzkis of the world for the impact that he had globally. Great impact in the game. That was actually I actually spoke Italian.
A little bit of Archie right there. Yeah.
Either way, he's an ambassador for the game. I'm sure that there's many more Argentinian basketball fans, thanks to Ginobili. From what I've known him, is just the smoothest left-handed stroke that you'll probably see out there. He's just a very smooth release. Not going to break it down fundamentally, but he has always had the ability to drain it from distance, and I think that he's been one of the figureheads of this Spurs team that sadly is beginning to move away. That's where it's not just that you're sad to see Manu Ginobili retire, if he is to retire, but it's the end of an era. Next, Tony Parker's going to go, and you're just going to be left with just castaways like Kawhi Leonard and guys like that. You know, you're not going to leave
Jonathan Simmons and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, but those were the guys that you knew of when you heard of the Spurs, the boring old Spurs. They were old, but they weren't boring. They were able to continue to play at an elite level for years past many would expect them to. Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Tony Parker, these are guys, with Pop, of course, coaching them, that I loved watching the Spurs, and I always loved how underappreciated they were at times, but also they were always the underdog, even though they had phenomenal basketball players.
They taught us that it took a long time, but look, 1999, 2003, 2005, 2007, 2014, they were NBA champions. Yeah. And while 03, 05, 07 was the prime MVP Duncan years, and you had arguably the best player in basketball, or one of the 2 best players in basketball on your team at that point, it was the one in 1999 and the one more so the one in 2014, because they happened on such opposite ends of the spectrum. The entire team, aside from Duncan in 1999, was not there in 2014, and that was the very end of old man Duncan still being the best old man player we've ever seen. Tim Duncan, like 40. Tim Duncan, if he ever plays in the Big 3 league, that 3-on-3 league they created, that team will never lose.
Yeah, they'll destroy it.
Because old man Duncan is still better than 50% of the NBA, even at this point, I'd make the argument, or at least 50% of the big men. When it comes to Manu, you're right, though, about the global impact, but it leads me to the most important would you rather. There was an old would you rather during the 2014 World Cup was, would you rather be Manu Ginobili after just winning the NBA Finals, or would you rather be Lionel Messi, the Argentinian would you rather, after coming just short of the World Cup? But I give you a better would you rather, Francis. Would you rather be Manu Ginobili with 4 championships and Lionel Messi's hair, or be Lionel Messi but bald? I mean, it's a tough question.
It's a pickle.
It is. Because hair is important.
And hair is, I know. We all
But
know
being
hair's
Messi
important.
would be great.
I'm just weighing up the fundamentals here. Like, I'd be short, though, and I'd be bald.
You'd be short and bald, or you could be.
I'd be short,
George
bald,
from Seinfeld.
Short, bald,
And
tatted
rich
up.
and famous.
Yeah.
You can be Manu. You could be.
Short, bald, tatted up, best footballer of all time. Tall, long locks.
One of the best global players of all time.
Global players of all time with the sweet shot. Tall, still tall. Nah, still got to be the greatest.
You're going to go bald?
I'm going to be goat. I'll be a bald goat. I'll be a bald goat. Get it?
I get it. I get it.
By the way, on my travels, I forgot to say this. A lot of goats in Uganda, and a lot of times where I thought someone was getting the shit beat out of them when the goat was just making noises.
Have you ever heard the goat singing Taylor Swift?
Yeah, it's nothing better. But it's the weirdest sounding animal I think I've ever heard.
Editors, if you may, please add in some goats yelling.
Yeah, of course, the man screaming goat's the best of all time. Can't do it. All right.
Comment below. I think I'm gonna maybe get Andre to do some more in-depth look into the Spurs dynasty and Manu and Parker and Duncan, Hall of Famers all for sure, because the basketball, by the way, in terms of why, without even looking at the numbers, without even having the rings, it's the basketball Hall of Fame. It's not held to a standard like the baseball Hall of Fame is, which is a ridiculous standard. Basketball Hall of Fame is, if you have any global impact on the game, you're going to probably go into the Hall of Fame. Ginobili is arguably the greatest sixth man to ever play. And as importantly, he was somebody who, if you appreciate the game of basketball, Popovich said, you're not going to start. You're good enough to start on every other single team in this league. But for me, you're going to play 25 minutes off the bench, and we're going to get the most efficient usage out of you possible. So, good for Manu. Good for Manu, good for Pop, good for Goats.
Takes a big man to be able to sit by and allow for that to be told, especially when you think you could be playing.
Goat, though?
Is what?
He's be a bald, shaved goat.
But you're the goat. It doesn't mean you didn't say shaved. You can still have the beard and be one of those cool, bald, bearded guys.
I just don't think you're going to look like Iniesta. I don't think you're going to have like a nice shaped head.
Yeah.